Hey everybody, I just want everyone to know I'm stocked with my tensor tools. Larry, my awesome patron, who's a truck driver, I got your package ready. I just didn't make it to the mail in time today. It closed at 4. I just missed it. So tomorrow, my wife will mail out the package. I have the package all ready, and I put some great goodies in there for you. Tonight, everybody, I really urge you guys to come slash Eye of Ra at 7 p.m. Eastern, because I will be unveiling mind-blowing info tonight. We about to go into beast mode tonight on Truth Frequency Radio Network, and right now I am live. I just went to the post office to try to drop off a package to one of my patrons who ordered some tensor products, but I just missed by a minute. I was late. So on my way back to the house to go to my family, because we're gonna eat dinner and then get ready for tonight's show. I drove by this church. Now, this church is the only church in my county that still has Gothic gargoyles on church. The only other ones you could find closest to me, New York City, which is about 20 miles from me. Now, let me switch here. If you didn't get your mail yet, then woo, you're ready for some mail today. I put some goodies in there for you, but so check this out, guys. First of all, we're at this church, right? And you can see the gateway, the dome, the entranceway, the red and black too. It's very intense. And you got this intense cross, and then you got these gargoyles. Let's see. Zoom in. Hold on. Let me see. They're at every end of the chapel. You can see the gargoyles. One-horned gargoyles. And they're pretty intense looking. I don't know how good you guys can see the shot right here. But they're one-horned Astral Familiars. Now, they're not just for protection, gargoyles. Gargoyles are also to carry your intention between realms. You will picture either a winged creature or a winged sphere. And this sphere or creature will carry your intention between realms to carry out the bidding of the sorcerer. This church is very covered up too. Like, look at the stained glass windows are all covered. You can't even see. Look at the Adonai. You can see even red and black doors in here. It's like the entrance to friggin' hell. You ever see the gargoyles on that?
Oh no, I never
see that?
Yeah.
Like evil serpents. They're the only ones in Rockland County that have that. Really? Yeah. You gotta go to New York City for Gothic gargoyles, and yeah. You ever notice that?
What?
The gargoyles on top of there?
Oh yeah.
See, people be walking by here and never even notice.
That's creepy.
Yeah. Look at that. People don't even realize. Walking by here every day and don't even see these serpents, these flying serpents. Yes, the giants are coming. The Nephilim. People confuse the Nephilim with the giants, and the Nephilim, I guess, were huge, right? But they are the fallen ones. The Nephilim are interdimensional beings that decided to mate or mix their DNA with humans and created as the Rephaim. Now these creatures can be summoned. Look at that little angelic, the Aryan race, yes. Look at that angelic face too, that really haunting face too. looking down on us all. So it is like a rose portal right there, almost like it's almost like the shape of a rose. That white, that face is haunting. So Andrew is asking in the chat room, what's the name of the portal park in Long Beach? That's Cesar Chavez Park. Chavez Park in Long Beach. It's at 1st and Golden, and it goes all the way to 6th and Golden. So, wow, you can see the church behind me. It's pretty creepy. Yeah, a bit about that tonight. Tonight we're going to be going into the Benandante and the Malandante wars, the spiritual wars that are on our planet, and the fight over sacred space and the battle of our DNA. Oh yeah, they are all over ley lines, and you can see that this church has a big back end too. The back of the church, you can see, look, you got the front part, and then this whole back end here. I don't even know what goes on in this church, because it's right around a corner from the sacred forest that I always go to, not far from there. And the red and black doors are a little bit, I think it shows you there, those red and black doors. Some of this is made in Gothic style. You could see those stained glass windows behind there that there's protected are pretty interesting. That's a very old cross up there. It almost looks like a cross that's in Florence, the Trebbio cross. But this is a very ominous church. Very, very ominous. Thank you, Darcy. You know, it's interesting because I'm that person that has, maybe when I was younger, and you know, I'm 40 years old now. Maybe when I was like a teenager and stuff like that, maybe I did have a little bit of an ego. I never was one that had an ego, though. I never was like too full of myself. But like my whole life, like literally my whole life, since I'm born, since I'm like even like 3 or 4 years old, it was like this. That when I meet people, usually one of two things happen. They either want to instantly know more about me, or they want to punch me. All right, and it's usually men that either want to fight me or be my like buddy right away. And women, they either you know, they want to know more about me, or they'll be like, who the fuck is this crazy guy? You know, so it's either like they get instantly interested in me, or instantly like scared in a way, you know. So it's been a weird mixed bag my whole life. I never was a hater, you know. Yeah, I never was. In fact, like, I used to never understand. I understand it now because I have an older brother who's 12 years older than me, and he's an amazing artist. He's very, very intelligent, great poker player. He was an oil truck driver for many years, made a lot of money that way, has a family, he's a great man. Great artist, went to art school. He now has his own clothing company and stuff. But when we were little, he's 12 years older than me, and I think when I was born, a lot of attention went off of him and onto me. And then when I was, like, he had bought a guitar, and then he was working so much that he never really got a chance to play guitar, so I kind of played it. I think he got like a little bit bent out of shape that I got so good at guitar or whatever. So it was like, I don't know, he never enjoyed that I was good at things, but I used to brag about him to all my friends, like, oh, my brother's amazing, my brother's so great at this, my brother's so great at that. I used to talk about him like he was a fucking god, you know. Not a god, but you know what I mean. I used to be like, he used to be everything to me, and like he never gave me the time of day when I was little. And we talk now, but we're not friends. We don't like hang out and call each other on a regular basis. But I do feel it's because of that vibe that comes, where, you know, it's almost like a something that happens, like, you know, I came to this world for a special mission, and I'm not running away from it. I think a lot of people understand that there's more to who they are, and they're not ready to give in. They're not ready to, they have doubts about themselves and who they are. I have no more doubts about myself. All right, you guys see me now, but I've been through so much in my life. I have no more doubts about myself. All right, I've been through heroin addiction. I've been through being in group homes when I was younger. I've been through having money, not having money, being on the street, having a nice house, losing my mother, watching my mother slowly die in front of me for years from cancer. And she was the closest thing to me. We took care of her every day. Having good jobs, having bad jobs, having a family. I've been through so much life experience. Traveling as a musician for a while, traveling to different countries, being in jail for a little while. I mean, I went through a lot as a kid, near-death experiences. When you're going through so much spiritual turmoil where you're ready to jab a needle in your arm to get away from it all, that is the most lowest point you can possibly imagine, for me at least. And I went through that. I went through that when I was younger. And there's nothing you can fucking show me that is going to make me doubt myself. What can you fucking do to me? What can you possibly do that I haven't done to myself already? I've already tortured myself. I've already gone through it. So, there's no more doubts. So, what the fuck, I don't give a fuck, like that. I'm not a violent person, but I went through years of kickboxing and training and stuff like that. So I don't care. I'll fight someone in my fucking underwear if I have to defend my family. There's no fear on this physical realm for me. And when you go into the spiritual realms, that's how you have to be. No fucking fear. Like my buddy Fearless, you have to be fearless. Now, I'm not talking about fearless like you got to walk into the flames and jump into a fire pit or hurt yourself. But you have to have no doubts about who you are in life. You have to be a fearless shaman. Every morning you get dressed, it's like you're putting on a tribal fucking uniform. Yeah, Frank's my buddy, man. For me and Frank, we live close to each other. We're partners. We're gonna be running a business together too, and doing stuff together, doing clearings together. So you guys got to understand that we're not meant to be here to be ruled by time. We came into this dimension of time because it's an illusion, and we're trying to fight this war, this spiritual. Be ready to fight spiritually at any moment. There's legions of forces that the Vatican and other high-powered elites are using these forces. Yeah, we are star family. We are star seeds. We all are star seeds. And last night I had an amazing Zoom chat with my and we were there for like a couple hours, and like a family now, all of us. We have this like little family going. And Larry, I got your package ready, buddy. I just missed the mail. Mika's gonna send it out tomorrow. I'm going back to the family now, so you guys gotta see. I mean, tonight we're gonna go deep into Lake Nemi and the Malandante and Benandante wars, and we're gonna be talking about a lot of interesting stuff tonight. And Megan, thank you for donating. Anybody, thank you for donating. It helps out so much. I'm trying to do all of this full time. Do my Patreon readings, selling tensor tools. My tensor products are custom made and one of a kind, and I explained last night on my Patreon how I make them and how I enhance their energy with a frequency generator and everything. What's up, Ken? Now I'm gonna talk. Hey, what's up, Kent? What's up, brother? So I'm gonna reveal a little bit of something real quick right now, guys, that I talked about on my for my patrons last night, and I'm gonna reveal a little bit. But now, when you hear this, it might sound like a bunch of woo-woo bullshit, and unfortunately, maybe one day you're gonna have to look back and see, hey, Ra might have been right what the hell he was saying back then. Unfortunately, I don't want to be right about this, but maybe we could turn it into something positive. If we all have time, past, present, and future, running right now, everything simultaneously happening, if there's an eternal now, where your past, your present, your future is all running concurrently, simultaneously, parallel to each other, almost like if you were standing right here, to your left and to your right would be a bunch of mirrors, and each one is a reflection of different timelines, and they're all lined up like dominoes, and they all can be tapped into, or something like that. And if you can lock on to the vibration of a very moment, the smell that's in the air, what people were wearing on the street, the way someone's hair was moving in the wind, all of that, if you can lock on to the very vibration of that very moment, that place and time, you can instantly be there. Now, if there's a way to tap into our past, our present, and future, then there's possibly a way, there's a technology where they can tap into where we are when we're in the womb, the time when we're in the womb. And I think that there's some sort of embryonic system taking place where there's a technology taking away our ancestral memory while we're in the womb. That's right from our star origins up to our umbilical cord. And I really think it's giving us amnesia. It's taking away our ancestral memory. It's taking away our abilities. And I shared last night with everybody this tattoo I got 20 years ago now, when I was 20. You see, it's like some sort of hybrid baby with a crescent moon behind the baby, and they're in the womb. And they have like headphones going to their umbilical cord. And this is something I designed that tattoo. It's a vision that's been in my head for a long time. And it's almost like they're breeding hate. They're breeding amnesia. They're breeding some sort of new consciousness. They're messing with our embryo system. And people are being born disconnected from their star origins. And that's what I talk about, what is a true disaster. I've said it before, a underworld, right? But this means moving away from, having less knowledge of, being less than. And Aster is knowledge of the stars. The stars, So disaster is having no knowledge of the stars, or less knowledge of the stars, or moving away from your star origins, or moving away from your ancestral memory. And that's what a disaster is. And they are breeding disaster. Weather has been manipulated. I mean, look at Sri Lanka. First you have the bombings, not only of hotels, but main churches, right? And then you have cyclones that hit that area, and they usually don't go that far in. And they hit that area, like 3 or 4 of them in like 6 weeks, and that is uncommon. These are designed storms. Just like there was a time where Florence was flooded with storms, and then all of a sudden all this valuable art started going missing, and all this stuff from Florence started going missing. These are designed storms by the US military, the Navy. Okay, the Navy is the oldest branch of the military. Navy intelligence is where all the bad shit comes from. Trust me on that. My military abduction in the early 2000s was straight Navy. Navy field was involved with satanic cults at the time that still are. And, I don't talk about it much, but they were involved with serial killings all over the planet. The Zodiac Killer, the Monster of Florence, the Son of Sam. I could go on and on. This is part of the Process Church. This is part of the Temple of Set, even the Church of Satan. All of these are connected to the Process Church and a worldwide organization of black mass and Satanism. And, you know, people don't realize to conduct a black mass, you have to be a priest. You have to be a sacrificial king. And there's an ancient priesthood of Nemi called the Rex Nemerenses, where they are the king of the woods, the holy woods, the holly woods, the sacred groves. They rule these sacred groves. The Vatican has taken over the priesthood of the Rex Nemerenses. And John Paul II was one of the first to rule that priesthood, to take over the sacred grove and change the world forever. John Paul I was murdered. And when John Paul II stepped in, they took over the priesthood of Nemi, the priesthood of the sacred grove. And it's no longer in balance anymore. Thank you so much, Denise and Megan, whoever else. Yeah, I mean, they are weird words, grove and grotto. I mean, even Hollywood, it's the holy wood. And where the sign is of Hollywood, it's very reminiscent of the Owlbound Hills of Lake Nemi. You know, holy wood is sacred grove. It's the holy woods. This is what Hollywood is replicating. They have all of the elite of Hollywood in the hills, in the holy woods, in the sacred grove. And that's because materialism has taken over. I've talked about it. We're at a time now where our physical activity or in our physical bodies, our spirituality, our consciousness, our soul, our spirit, nature, artificial intelligence is all wrapped into one weird knot. And we're getting moved towards a singularity. They do not want us to have a past, a present, a future, and ancestral memory anymore. They want us to move into one singularity, one religion, one frame of mind, one consciousness. No more different DNA, no more different ancestral roots. They want you all automatons with one stamp on you, one religion on you, one belief system on you. And we are being pushed towards these end time scripts, and they have a spiritual transmission going on through our spiritual technology, and they are broadcasting a transmission of the apocalypse. And we are all caught up in this war. So it's time to choose. It's time to choose, and it's time to fight back. So whose side are you going to be on?